Happy post-Thanksgiving, fellas.
Yeah, hey, how's everybody doing?
Good.
I ate a lot of turkey.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we had a Thanksgiving with Jeffrey's family this year. And because I'm giant and pregnant and it hurts to move, I didn't have to do anything. I just got to sit there.
You literally just watched the rest of us prep dinner.
Giant and Pregnant almost sounds like one of those like TLC reality shows, like Naked and Afraid or something like that, like Giant and Pregnant.
That is exactly what my life is. It's no, labor is going to be naked and afraid.
Mrs. Simpson, you don't have to be naked to do this.
Okay, but if you think about it, all I get is one of those stupid paper gowns. So I'm basically going to be naked.
Or you can insist with the doctors that you want to wear like a big old like flowing like just beautiful dress.
Yeah, one of those ones that everybody does.
That's going to be the new like reality thing, like women doing like glamorous like Instagram worthy things in the delivery room.
But Garrett, that actually happens.
No.
Yes, it does. There are photographers who do what they call a fresh 48 session, and the mom gets all glammed up, and they take pictures of her in the hospital bed with the baby, and then they do people having pictures in the delivery room where they're just getting beautiful, glamorous shots of them pushing a human out.
Okay, I gotta look this up.
Oh God, you're gonna see some
Have
placenta,
fun.
dude. You are gonna see some placenta. There's always that one weird photographer who like plays with the placenta.
What?
I'm not kidding. I saw one photo where somebody wrote the word love out of the placenta and umbilical cord.
Okay, I'm done. Okay,
Stop.
move on, please.
That's something
Please.
from like a metal band.
Pantera's cover album.
It's placenta. No. The metal band is Placenta Love.
So I'm looking at all these pictures, and it just all seems very tame. Just a mother holding the baby after giving it. I'm talking about like mom's in stirrups. Baby hasn't even come out yet, but she's like posing and like.
What did you look
just
up?
First 48.
Okay, look up
Or
delivery.
fresh 48.
Look up delivery photography.
Ugh.
It's like some of it is the cute stuff, but you'll also see.
Ah!
Oh, what'd you find?
Ah! Okay, that one's pretty funny. Okay, welcome to Tutor I Hardly Know Her, a show that's not about pregnancy. At least not for Henry's errors, am I right?
At least for not half of the wives.
That's true.
Oh man, that was wonderful. Happy
It's like,
holiday
oh, this looks
season.
great. This looks great. Oh, that thing's covered in something.
It's like a small person covered in SpaghettiOs.
Exactly.
Oh, Jeff, no.
Jeff is gonna use my phone and Snapchat the entire thing just to you, Garrett. And you're never gonna know when it's gonna happen. So you're gonna be innocently getting pictures of my cats through Snapchat, and then all of a sudden, baby.
And suddenly, babies.
Oh, this is cute. Oh, this is cute. Oh, this is terrifying.
That's, I think, what happens with babies. Labor and babies in general. This is cute. This is cute. This is terrifying. Why won't it stop?
Still think babies are cute?
Yes. Hey, howdy, hey. We had
Hi and howdy.
We had some pretty good Facebook stuff happening over the weekend.
Yeah.
I finally got around to answering a bunch of stuff. Sorry, guys.
I was gonna let you know, like, hey, Miss, just so you know, there's like 1 million Facebook messages.
Yes, there were. Oh God, I watched the BBC version of The Other Boleyn Girl.
I saw you live tweeting a little bit of that, and I'm sorry.
It just there were like confessional moments, like a reality show. I'm not kidding.
Isn't that what I asked for like a couple episodes ago?
Except it was very much like a. So okay. So it was a show. It was a movie. I think maybe mini movie because I don't think it was actually.
I
90
do like the
minutes
idea
long.
this is like a real world scenario with Henry VIII, except he calls himself Hate. It's just H8.
Oh, Jared, Baby Dumbledore.
Jude Law?
No,
Baby Dumbledore.
Dumbledore's kid, Jared Harris, played Henry VIII, which was super fucking weird. Let me tell you, like,
Yeah.
that man was probably never. He probably came out of the womb and went through toddlerhood looking like a 40-year-old smoker. So it was very. I was kind of okay with a lot of it. It moved really weirdly fast through the whole storyline.
How long was it?
I think it was. I don't think it was a full 90 minutes because they were moving through it, and I was like, I've only been watching like 45 minutes of this. How are you already here? I think it might have been like 60 minutes, but it may have been like, I don't know, 80. So I was okay with the confessional type stuff because they didn't do it super weirdly. They almost did it like narration from the character's point of view, and it was only Anne and Mary. But then there was one scene where it went Blair Witch Project on you, where
Wait, what?
He just goes up in Anne's
runs
nostrils.
out. Anne runs out of her bedroom at night and runs to her brother's, and the camera's chasing her, and it's got night vision on.
What the fuck? No.
Yes.
Who thought this was a good idea?
And at that
BBC,
moment,
apparently.
I was like,
Thomas, what are you doing in the corner?
what'd you do with the compass? At that moment, I was like, goodbye. I was like, all right, I'm done. I officially don't like it. Garrett,
Throw it in the fucking river.
Garrett, I think you should watch it before we watch the other Boleyn girl, the Natalie Portman one, just so you have some comparison.
I feel like you would pick the Natalie Portman one over that one.
I
Or
would.
is the Natalie Portman one that bad?
Gun to my head, if I had to pick either, it would be the Natalie Portman one. Mostly because I really didn't like the actress who played Anne Boleyn in the BBC one. Sorry, lady.
She's offended. She's listening right now.
Sorry. But I think that had more to do with how fast the story was going. Her character didn't have any time to develop. She went from like this demure sister who was trying to just marry somebody she loved to all of a sudden like this power hungry crazy lady. The BBC one, or the American one, the Hollywood version, I guess I would watch it mostly so I could see Andrew Garfield with his teeny tiny head and those giant clothes, which is delightful.
That's the one where Scarlett Johansson plays Henry VIII, right?
Scarlett Johansson plays everybody in that movie. That's your IMDb fact. Scarlett Johansson is everyone. That's her next movie.
So it seems like the BBC version is like prime for riff tracks or like just like get drunk with a bunch of friends and make fun of that movie.
It really is. But I think
at least in your case, I know there are people out there who probably like that one.
I don't know. I feel like we'll be able to riff tracks a lot on anything to do with the other Boleyn girl, the book, the movie, the BBC one. So I'm really excited for you to come visit so we can do that. Mm-hmm. It'll be good times. So, but yeah, I watched that finally. And I got some awesome book recommendations based on an episode somebody requested. So thank you for those book recommendations. What else happened on social media that's related to the tutors? Because that's all I care about on social media. That was pretty much it.
Okay.
So Thanks, guys. I really like it that you message us and ask me questions and ask for my opinion on stuff. So, hooray. Cigars. Are you guys ready to get started?
Yeah. What
are
we talking
you
about
ready to rock?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you ready to Dwayne Johnson?
Do you smell what Dwayne Johnson is cooking? Because he is a very fine chef.
It's pancakes, rock pancakes.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready for this week's episode?
Let's
tutor. Let's give me the tood. So I didn't quite know what to talk about this week. I have a list of episodes, a lot of people. In fact, my entire list of episodes, with the exception of 2, are people. And I asked Jeff if I've been talking about Anne Boleyn a little bit too much, so he said maybe. So I'm going to skip an Anne Boleyn episode this week. And instead, we're going to talk about her daughter. And we're going to talk about her sexy fun time, or lack thereof, with Robert Dudley.
Ooh, Dudles.
The Dudles, as she affectionately called him. Oh, Dudles.
Dudles.
She's gonna diddle with her Dudles.
Oh, no.
But she didn't diddle with her Duddle, or did she?
Hadley
Did
diddly
she diddle with
Duddles.
the Duddle?
Robert Dudley is just Ned Flanders. Hey, diddly Duddle there. No, we're actually going to talk about one of the best love triangles that ever existed, which wasn't really a love triangle. It was more like Robert...
Henry VIII, Anne Boleyn, and Anne Boleyn's brother.
Shut the fuck up.
Who loves Thomas More?
My God.
I like the pause we all had right there. No.
Podcast is over. Everybody go home.
Goodbye.
And goodbye.
No. We are going to talk about Robert Dudley, Queen Elizabeth, and Amy Robsart. I think that's how you say her last name.
I've never heard of her before.
That is because, according to Wikipedia, she is most well known for dying. I'm not kidding. You know how when you go and look up somebody on Wikipedia and their first sentence is usually like Axl Rose is best known for being in a band, right? Paul McCartney is best known for being in the Beatles. John Lennon is best known for... JFK is
also
best...
being in the Beatles.
Right. Amy Robsart is best known for dying. So
she did it very well. She stayed dead.
She did. In that account, she succeeded. Kind of a little bit of a sad story for her. Not as sad as, the ones who got their heads chopped off, but...
She's no Mary Queen of Scots.
I mean, it's not a competition.
To be the saddest?
Yeah, it's like, oh, my story's the saddest because my head got chopped off.
I don't know. I can see Henry VIII being like, no, I have the saddest story of them all. No, we're going to talk about this little, not quite a love triangle. I don't know. It's more like, the game Pickle, where
Sorry, what?
The game Pickle, there are 3 people, and there are 2 on either end, and they're throwing a ball back and forth, and they're trying to get the person in the middle out.
Monkey in the middle?
Pickle is like the baseball version of Monkey in the Middle.
Okay.
This
sounds like you're speaking insane language to me.
Okay, never mind.
You never played Pickle before?
No, shut up. Okay, fine. Goodbye. You know what? You just do this episode, Garrett.
I'm sorry, just out of nowhere. Oh, you never played Pickle? Oh,
I was trying to give an analogy for this relationship, guys.
Their relationship was kind of like a pickle.
It was green and hard and very sour.
And vinegary.
It was disgusting.
Yeah, it sounds like Henry
Only
VIII.
heathens wanted it.
And it was green, too.
No, their relationship is like our relationship. Emily and Jeff love each other, and then there's Garrett.
Hi, guys.
Just sobbing in the corner.
All right, so let's get into it. So we have talked about Robert Dudley before and his relationship with Queen Elizabeth, but I just want to give a
or
little...
lack thereof.
Or lack... or lack thereof. Question
Lack their love.
Ooh, lack their love. So Robert was born in 1532. He was just a year older than Elizabeth. And during Queen Mary's reign, remember how Queen Mary was like, "Hey sis, I fucking hate you. Go to the tower. Might decapitate you."
Okay.
Dudley was there as well.
You would know because he was there.
Dudley was there because do you remember the story of Jane Grey and how she married a guy named Guildford Dudley?
Oh yeah.
I figured you'd remember the name. And then she was dethroned after 9 days, and Mary came to the throne, and everybody who was involved was tossed into the tower. Well, it was Dudley's family that was involved. So him and his brothers and his father, they were tossed into the tower. So at that time, Elizabeth was there. So I guess they were allowed a little bit of freedom because she and Dudley met and were like, hey, buddy, what you in for? She didn't know you were never supposed to ask them that.
Oh, God.
She offered him some cigarettes in exchange for a back rub.
Yes, back rub.
Back rub, Jeff. These are Tudor times. They're all very proper.
Show me some ankle.
Can I see your clavicle?
And Dudley crawled through 5 miles of fecal matter.
So they both were obviously released, and then Elizabeth became queen. So as soon as she became queen, she made Dudley her master of horse, which we've talked about before, and he was in charge of her entertainment and court travels. And one article said she was violently attracted to Dudley, and I was like,
What?
It's crazy.
Violently attracted just makes it seem like she was like literally tearing at her eyeballs while staring at him with lust.
You're so gorgeous.
Like bleeding.
It's like a Fatal Attraction.
It is. I don't understand how you can be violently attracted. I just don't think this person
Just
writing
insatiable for the cock.
she's insatiable for that D.
Dudley.
Dudley.
His codpiece had just a giant D engraved on it.
Henry VIII had the monogram towels that he would swap between wives, and then Dudley started it with the cod pieces.
Cod piece with a letter D on it.
Give me that D.
Guess what this means?
Either way, there were a lot of rumors about the two of them, and
What? No.
mostly that they were banging. And one woman,
Well,
old mother.
but-
No, I'm not kidding. This is what it says. Old Mother Dow of Brentwood. I wish we still called people shit like that. Like the old Mother Dow.
But she was the virgin queen. She could never have had sex.
Okay, wait. We need to still talk like this. Like, I wish this kind of language came back. Old Mother Dow of Brentwood was jailed for saying, "My Lord Robert hath given Her Majesty a red petticoat," meaning he took her virginity.
Oh my God.
I know.
Well, my little dairy
I know.
queen. We're just going to take those milk patches. Then your virginity. Watch Producers. That's my tip.
The issue was, though, that Robert was married. So he was
Minor
married.
inconvenience.
Minor
It's
inconvenience.
okay. It's nothing
When
permanent,
does that
according to
stop
Henry
the
VIII.
king?
According, you either kill them or you just hope they die, or you divorce
Henry, aren't you
them.
married? It's nothing permanent.
So he was married to a woman named Amy Robsart. I don't care if I'm saying that correctly. I'm saying it like
She died.
that.
Who cares?
Known for her death of falling down the stairs. So
Yes, she fell.
Amy was born as an heiress in Norfolk. And she had a firmly Protestant family
Also, she had to die. Her name was Amy. It's so not normal.
for that time period.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
Anne. It's not Catherine. It's
If your
not,
name's not Anne, Catherine, Mary, Elizabeth,
Or
you're
Jane.
fucking dead.
then go down these stairs.
Dead. 3 days before her 18th birthday, in June 1550, she married Robert Dudley.
Jesus.
In the wedding contract, it was specified that Amy would inherit her parents' money upon the death of both of her parents, not just her father. Initially, they didn't really have much in way of supporting themselves, so they really lived on gifts from both of their fathers. William Cecil, one of Elizabeth's BFFs, was at the wedding. This was before Elizabeth was queen. And he called it a carnal marriage. What do you guys think carnal marriage means?
Cardinal?
Just did the fuck.
Carnal.
Oh. Like carnies?
Was that right?
Garrett was closer. It was a love match.
Yeah.
But seriously, we need to bring back this kind of language. He gave her a red petticoat. It was a carnal marriage. Like, that sounds much more interesting. So they mostly lived at court during that time period. Or they would live with Robert's parents, the Dudleys. The Dudles. So then in 1553, shit hit the fan. That's when Jane Grey married Robert's brother Guildford, and she had the throne of England for a grand total of 9 days. It didn't last long, and all the Dudleys were sent to the Tower. And so Robert was there from July 1553 until October 1554, so well over a year. However, starting in September of 1553, Amy was allowed to visit him. I wonder if they were allowed conjugal visits.
Ooh.
Back then.
I doubt it.
Just doing it through the glass. Oh, Billy.
I fucking hate that. I dislike you. So he was finally released. He'd met Elizabeth while in said tower. And he was physically released, but his heart was forever captured.
Oh, man. He's going to deflower her in the tower.
I hope she's
We've got
still
so
wearing
many
her
good
iron
titles for this
underwear.
episode.
What'd you say?
So we've got so many good titles for this episode.
We do. So he was released, but he was broke as shit. So he had to borrow a lot of money from his family, from her family. He ended up in a lot of debt. But then luckily his in-laws died. Like, who doesn't?
All right.
Fuck yeah.
Imagine a little fist pump in him saying, "Score." Yes.
So his father-in-law died in like 1554, I think I read. And then in the spring 1557, his mother-in-law died. And so they inherited the Robsart estates. And then Elizabeth became queen and Robert was her master of horse. So he was basically at court all the fucking time then. And he was already like, let me be your Dudles.
You want to cuddle? Let me be your Duddle.
Oh, God.
Can I turn your petticoats red?
Oh, God.
There were rumors, like crazy rumors going around at that time, by a lot of people who disliked Dudley because obviously he was the favorite and fuck that guy. There were rumors that if Amy died due to a mysterious illness in her breast, cancer, Elizabeth would marry Robert. It was just part of that whole, like, they flirtatiously were going back and forth. That one was just a you know what I heard.
Did you hear what the queen was doing with her Dudles?
She diddled the Duddle. So Robert would visit his wife occasionally. And then she once visited him at court in 1559. That was her last time seeing Robert. Sad.
Oh.
Once again, we have a very reliable Spanish ambassador giving us history. This was De Quadra. And he wrote that Amy's health had improved at that court visit in 1559, but she was careful with her food. Didn't want to choke on it. I see a thing online a lot lately that's like, how many people do you think died just because they were taste testers for the king and it turned out they were allergic?
My peanut butter is poison. Maybe you just had a peanut allergy.
Witchcraft, burn him.
Wow. That's a real shower thought.
I think I found it on Shower Thoughts, but I've seen it everywhere.
Yeah.
So that
Whoa.
very reliable Spanish ambassador De Quadra started writing that Robert was sending Amy poison, Which the way they said that, I'm just picturing him like sending him a vial like from Emperor's New Groove with just a skull and crossbones on it and be like, "Dear darling, here's a thing for you. Please drink it. Don't ask questions."
A llama? He's supposed to be dead.
And then Amy becomes a llama.
Yay, I'm a llama.
No, wait. The rumors were also that Elizabeth was in on it, and she was like, "Yeah, send her the poison, because then I can marry you." Eventually, there were a lot of plots to assassinate Dudley because everybody was like, "Fuck that guy." And DeQuadra reported that Dudley was talking of divorcing Amy.
Scandalous.
Scandal. So at that time, Amy was living in a place called Cumnor Place. It was sometimes called Cumnor Hall. And it was rented by a friend. And that friend lived there with his wife, a woman named Mrs. Odingsells, and a woman named Mrs. Owen. So Amy had her own apartment with a private entrance and a staircase. And because her parents left her wealthy, she was receiving her own proceeds from her estates directly. So she was paying for her household mostly by herself. Then Sunday, September 8th, 1560, on today's Unsolved Mysteries. Garrett, do you know the Unsolved Mysteries song? Wait, I got it better. All right.
Yeah, you know.
Today's Unsolved Mysteries. My phone is going very slow. Shit, this is creepy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh no, it's creeping me out.
It's so creepy. I forgot how creepy that fucking theme is. Jeff, you never watched.
It's so good though.
It's so good. You never watched Unsolved Mysteries, did you?
No.
There's always someone who disappeared, somebody whose body was found, and
But
then
no one cared about
paranormal.
those. You just want to see the ones about ghosts and aliens.
See, I prefer the ones where somebody died.
Well, yeah, you're into serial killers. In a healthy way.
Should I be scared?
Oh, you should have been scared a while ago, Jeff.
So on today's Unsolved Mysteries, September 8th, 1560, Amy was found dead at the foot of stairs.
Who hosted that show?
Robert Wagner.
No.
No, I'm totally right. Robert Wagner.
Which would be very ironic since his wife died very mysteriously.
Oh my God, you're right.
Robert Stack.
Yeah, Robert Stack was the guy that did Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah.
Why do I know that name?
Because of Unsolved Mysteries. Are we all gonna? Is this our new Unsolved Mysteries podcast?
Sure.
I would do it. Let's do an Unsolved Mysteries one. 10 still Unsolved Mysteries from Unsolved Mysteries. So this is what happened. Wait, do we need to take a break so Jeff can look up?
No, continue. I'm good.
Okay. So it was reported that morning, the morning of September 8th, Amy rose early and insisted that all of her servants attend the fair. She tried to get everybody in the household to go to the fair. Some of the servants were like, I really don't feel like it. And she goes, I don't give a fuck. Get out of here. You need to have some fun. Let your hair down.
Want to go to the fair? Yeah, you fucking do.
That Carney again.
So then when Dudley found out, he was told on September 9th, and he immediately called for an inquest to find out what had happened. And he sent his steward, a guy named something Blount, probably Thomas. And Blount was there doing the inquest, and he asked Amy's maid, he's like, did anything suspicious happen? She goes, no, not really. She told everybody to go to the fair, but I don't really think it was a I don't think it was on purpose. I don't think she killed herself, and I also don't think it was murder. I think it was an accident. So he was like, cool, perfect, great. They gathered together the coroner and 15 juries, which, what do you think a coroner in the 1500s looked like? Like, he just...
was 2 right angles.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about, coroner. I'd imagine the coroner is just like also a doctor / surgeon. They just like,
/ barber.
Hey, you know about bodies.
But like today we picture a coroner as somebody like cutting open a body and being like, oh yeah, the brain doesn't weigh as much. Clearly it was poisoned or whatever. But one from the 1500s, can you just imagine them looking at somebody with like a completely bent neck? Like the Haunting of Hill House bent neck.
Oh yes. It looks like the cause of death was gravity just bent her neck the wrong way. Poor
Shame.
girl.
So the 15 jurors and the coroner got together and they told Dudley they did a investigation, probably along the same lines of like how we play Clue. And they told Dudley that it did appear her death was accidental. She had 2 head injuries and she'd broken her neck. But everybody was like, yo, did you hear that Elizabeth and Robert totally had her murdered so that they could get married? Interestingly, the way Amy died meant that they could never really get married because everybody suspected that they were involved with it. So there was a suspicion cast upon them immediately, and it was because they both would have benefited from her death.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't help that William Cecil was spreading rumors as well to our trusty Spanish ambassador, De Quadra. It was before the public knew of the death. Cecil told De Quadra that Elizabeth and Dudley planned to poison Amy. And then a couple days later, she showed up dead of a poison that breaks your neck.
It just kind of made her heavier, so she wasn't used to walking downstairs.
She became like a bobblehead. Top heavy. By the way, Cecil didn't actually think Robert killed her. It was just politically convenient to say he did.
Sold some great papers that day.
They did. The tabloids of the 1500s, the National Enquirer, the Tudor Inquirer, sold like hotcakes. Elizabeth's reputation at home and internationally was in danger because of this whole thing. So, although she still had the hots for Robert, still wanted to diddle her duddle, she knew she couldn't really risk marrying him because then it would seem that they had killed Amy, regardless of what the coroner said, because like, who's going to tell the king or queen no, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Robert himself also knew he could never really marry Elizabeth. It didn't stop him from continuing to propose endlessly. But it did kind of put an end to any possibility, probably from Elizabeth's end, of marrying him. And I know we mentioned this before, but I still think it's a little bit sweet. When Robert died in 1588, Elizabeth kept his final letter to her. She labeled it his last letter, and she kept it in a casket by her bed until she died in 1603. It's kind of cute. It's like saving your first text message.
It's kind of that'd be a very interesting what if situation is if those two actually did get married. What would have happened? One with a Tudor bloodline. If she actually got married and somehow actually had kids.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people think that she didn't get married because she knew she couldn't carry kids. Some people think it's because she saw, you know, everyone who got married to her father fucking die.
Except for the last one.
Yeah, but she almost died. She was this close. So yeah, it would have been. I like thinking about the what ifs. So what if she'd married Robert? I think he would have been assassinated.
At that point, yeah.
Just straight up moited.
I want one of those what if machines from Futurama for these kind of situations. I just want
me too.
I would just love to see the alternate versions of history.
I know. It's fun. I read a what if book about what if Anne Boleyn had had a son after Elizabeth was born. And essentially it comes back down to spoilers for the Boleyn Deceit series. But it eventually comes down to Elizabeth still would have ended up reigning.
Yeah.
Just, it would have been slightly different circumstances. So, it's fascinating. I like what ifs. But anyway, that is the Love Pickle Triangle Jeff Emily Garrett situation.
The Love Pickle.
Don't call it that, please.
All right, we're getting into the sex toy line.
That's a whole different thing.
It's the Tudor sex toys.
Oh God!
Hold on, we have an untapped market here, Emily.
When you want to diddle or Dudles.
This sounds like a great infomercial.
Here's the thing: I want to make. I would make Tudor-related sex toys, not to sell Tudor-related sex toys, but to write the descriptions.
All right, Garrett, please describe the love pickle.
The Love Pickle.
Yes, the sex toy, the Tudor sex toy of the Love Pickle.
You can't just put me on the spot like that.
Yes, I can.
All right.
Make sure you use the phrase "diddle your tuddle."
Can one be called a hurdy-gurdy? I took the way it
That's like
sounds.
a strap-on of some sort.
Oh God!
Yes. Guys, we're going to create a merch shop just for this shit.
You thought it was going to be like T-shirts and tote bags? Nah.
Nope. You're getting straight up sex toys.
God, I hope this is someone's first episode listening to us.
I hope your dad makes it to the end of this episode.
If anybody tunes out before the end and they stop when you say, and that's all we have for this topic. If anybody tunes out at that point, you're missing out so hard.
I know. There's just so much delightful, ridiculous gold at the end of each episode. Anyway, that's the story of how Elizabeth wanted to diddle a duddle and then an Amy Robsart got in the way.
And gravity was not her friend.
So they took care of her. Maybe. Today's Unsolved Mysteries.
The thing is, I keep wanting to go into the X-Files theme every time you're talking about that.
She was pushed by aliens.
Ooh.
David.
I just visually the alien like just pushes her. Like that's it. Nothing special. Nothing. Anything. Just shows up and just pushes her and walks away.
And then David Duchovny comes around the corner.
Where are frogs?
Oh, that was a good one. Any questions?
No, I'm good.
Garrett's had enough. He's seen placenta. He's talked about sex toys.
This has been a pretty full episode.
Short but good.
Like a normal episode.
It's as full as. Never mind. I won't say it. It was going to involve a cod piece.
No.
So, rate and review us on iTunes.
Disregard this episode when you're doing
find
it.
us on Twitter at Tudor Know Her or on Facebook just Tudor I Hardly Know Her.
Yes. Send us questions and topics of conversation and episode requests. We got a lot from you guys this week. So hooray!
We should make a collection of like mini topics to cover in like one episode.
I have some of those going.
Okay, good.
It's just I want to collect at least 4 before doing an episode about them.
Yeah.
So I got you. I got you.
I got you, babe.
So until next time.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Divorce beheaded died. Divorce beheaded survived. Goodbye. Goodbye.